Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Should I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening? Oh, hope everybody is staying warm up over here in the U.S. because I know outside right now it is freezing and it is still snowing. Woke up to 7 below. Man, even the dogs did not want to get out of bed this morning. In fact, they're all up over there, all snuggled down except for Penny, who's watching TV. But they're all piled on my side of the bed, so it's like they were all waiting for me to get out so they can move over and take over my warm spots. But good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well today. Today, we're going to be flying the Astro space lines. That's right. We invested in a cruise line. And one thing I've noticed right off the bat is some of these passengers think that they're entitled to tell me where they want to go. They don't respond well to danger, but they like to fly into war zones. Well, not this captain. So, but good morning. So, what do you say? We just go ahead and get right to it, make some money, get some nice what rankings? Yeah, that's the proper word. Get some rankings. We went up quite a bit yesterday in trade route, just hauling people around, listening to them whine and complain, just like little children. Oh, so let's find out who we got this morning. They've decided to fly Astro Space Lines. No Frills airline just for you. Yes, yes. A lot of these people like paying a lot of money for it, too. Let's see. This person wants to go to LHS 3781 Visitor Beacon. What the hell's a Visitor Beacon? Ah, it's a tourist site. Wait a minute. Before we purchase them, boy, we're starting off pretty good this morning. And before we accept their little contract, let's make sure we get that set up first. Okay, now let's see who's available. They still want to go on a sightseeing tour. I don't know if I want to go on a sightseeing tour. 5 passengers for economy. Temuco Visitor Beacon. Demanding, highly likely to make demands while on board. Denying these requests will reduce passenger satisfaction. Oh. Oh, some of those people. Okay. Maybe I should stick them in the cargo hold. That'd probably be better. This way I won't have to listen to them as much. I know that sounds nasty, but hey, it's No Frills Airline. What do you expect? Wow, they want a good distance. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought it said. 7 jumps. Oh, boy, 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 boy. Well, okay. Launch. I was wondering for a moment if it was actually going to do it. It probably ignored me. I don't blame the computer. She probably decided to stay in bed and stay warm herself. Now let's hurry up and get these children where they want to go before they start making demands they're not going to get. I put them out the airlock. I'll space them in a heartbeat. Okay, we're lining up for the first jump. 7 jumps. This is going to be really a fun trip. I swear, these people start getting too demanding, they'll find out real quick who's in charge, and it's not going to be them. We'll put them to work in the reactor room. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Maybe we'll fly them a little too close to a black hole or something and get sucked in. Let's see, we've got a little fuel scoop here. We're just sucking up a little extra go-go juice. We're going to irk these people. We're going to make them think we're going to burn up. Yeah, that's it. They start getting too demanding, and we will fly into the sun. Now we've definitely got to get a bigger fuel scoop. We got to make that a lot quicker. Here we go, second jump. Oh, yes, here we go. No unusual activity except that we are flying the Love Boat. Wonder where Isaac is, because I could use a drink this morning. Make him feel good. I think the cold is affecting my internet. And not in a very good way. What? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What happened? What happened? Get too close to the sun? Might have. We lost 2% of our hull. That's not good. Okay, let's try this again. Brown dwarf? Yeah, it's a possibility we did. We are definitely going to have to get fuel somewhere along the way. Where if they get me stranded, I am going to be a very unhappy captain, and will throw them out of an airlock. Star Class DA. Oh. Um, that's a neutron star. We don't want to get too close to that one. We'll blow up in seconds. I've already paid a visit to one of them. I know how bad. Got a little too close to it. May have an issue. We may be running out of fuel. No. No, we're not. Hey, good morning, Freed. Hey, Grizz, how you doing this morning? How are y'all doing today? Why did that not work? I'm doing good. How are y'all doing today? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome in to one of my good friends and one of my best friends here. If you would, please welcome in Mr. M3 2010, a good friend of mine, good friend of the stream. Please click that link, go over, give him a follow. Leave his notification bell alone. Make sure you tell him Astro sent you over. And one of my best friends, Mr. Grizzled Eagle. Also, please click that link, go over, give him a follow. These are both really great guys, great entertainers. Please go check them out. Oh, I'm doing pretty good this morning. I'm freezing body parts off, though. It is so cold outside. It is so cold. Oh, I know. I know. Believe me, I feel the same way. I feel the same way. Oh, and I'm just thinking about one thing. If it feels cold today, I have to wait till tomorrow. Yeah. We already don't have any hot water. Tomorrow, I'm not expecting to have cold. Ah, you're welcome, Free. You're welcome. Yeah, we just love the fact that the snow is supposed to be over and they keep adding it to the forecast. The wind chill for tomorrow's prediction just keeps getting worse and worse. We let the dogs out in the backyard for a few seconds to go do their business, and then we have to go chase them inside because they want to stand around and play out the snow. I don't want you to play out the snow. I want to go get inside. I want to go where it's nice and warm. They're killing me. Okay, we need fuel, so we're scooping from the sun. We definitely have got to get a bigger fuel scoop. One that's a lot more powerful. Yeah, I feel like I'm on Mount Everest. Yeah, well, I can agree there. Yesterday it got so bad, by the time they got through scraping the roads, they had to go back over them again because you can never tell they touched them in the first place. At least one thing going in our favor here, though, is that we don't have any ice, at least. Okay, this is going to take us a few minutes to fuel up our tanks. It's going to irk me so bad that I'm probably going to fly into the sun. Even though I'm trying not to. Come on, baby, give me more fuel. I know I've seen snow like this once in my life in Missouri, and it was miserable. Never thought I'd seen it in Texas, though. Hey, you got to remember something, though, Grizz. I'm originally from Louisiana. I'm still not used to seeing snow, even though I've been up here in Kansas for 20 years. This is the first time in about 5 years we actually had snow that stuck to the ground for a while. I'm happy. It's cool outside. Okay, a little colder than what I like, but it's cool outside. The dogs are happy. Wife isn't. I'm not because my feet are cold. Yeah, okay, I pushed it a little bit too far. Well, we got some fuel. Let's see if we can continue onward or if we... And we are still 34 light years away. We're still over here orbiting the sun. Okay, we are still targeting that planet, that star. That is not what we want. Oh, well, yeah, I know. We got to go back to the sun and get some more fuel. I'll tell you what, I hope this system's got fuel. Okay, I got your warning. Thank you. Or an idiotic maintenance man that thinks he knows how to plow. Took me half an hour to even clear 2 shovel widths down the asphalt to make it safe for blazing. Sounds like our guys, they're in free. Our guys do that too. Our family's doing good, Grizz. How's everybody with you? How's your family doing anyway? I haven't heard any updates from you lately. Hope everybody's doing okay. Hope they've all recovered. Yeah, everybody's doing fine here. Our guys though, our guys though, just when they plow the roads, they don't care what they cover up. As long as they do their job, they don't care. They're city workers. I got it. Thank you. These guys this past weekend though, they haven't really been doing much. And it's like they make a pass and you see them about 2 hours later because the snow has already come back in. It's covered back up the road as tall as it was when they first scraped it. My neighbor, I can't stand, tried to get out of his driveway and he went in the ditch. I was laughing at him. Had to come back in the house. At least it's at the end of the driveway, not your parking spot. Yeah, true. 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 We tried to get out to go to the store yesterday. Went to go get some bottled water. Yeah, that was fun. Luckily, we were able to drive over it though. It's not, like I said, it's not ice. It's not hard packed yet. Sun was out for a little bit yesterday, but it didn't really do anything. Melted some of it off the roofs, but that's about it. I have gotten any recent updates, but I know one is out of the woods. Good, Grizz. Please keep me informed about the others. You know, I'm always here to talk, man, if you need me. Always. And I promise you, I won't do like Jimmy. I will not send you text messages from the bathroom. You're welcome, man. Hey, that's what friends are for. Always. We're always there for each other. Hey, good morning, Silver Architect. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome in another good friend of the stream, Mr. Silver Architect 78, another elite dangerous commander. If you don't know who he is, please click that link, go over, give him a follow. Leave his notification bell on. Make sure you tell him Astro sent you over. I'm going to reach under my piloting dashboard here, find that voice command module, and rip it out like I did my own truck. Had a door sensor go bad in my truck one day, as all I heard was door ajar, door ajar. I shut that thing up real quick. Now, if I could only kick the sickness, I'd be happy. Ran out of meds yesterday, and I'm not driving in this, so hopefully I'll stuff. Sometimes, man, you just gotta go for it and get out in it, even though you don't want to. And I know that getting out in it will probably make the sickness a little bit worse, but oh, I'm sorry to hear you're still sick, man. Sorry to hear it. Hope you shake whatever it is that's hitting you up real bad. I hope you do. It's not me I'm worried about. It's the other idiots. Hey, I know that. You forget, man, I'm from Louisiana. People there don't know how to drive in the snow. That's the reason why everything shuts down when it starts to snow and get icy. Because they're all fools. Believe me. If when it's raining, they go from 70 miles an hour to 90 on the interstate, you can just imagine what they do when there's snow on the ground. Believe me, I've seen them drive. I grew up with those people. Yeah. It is not fun. Yep, they can't drive in perfect weather, let alone adverse conditions. Bingo. Last time when I still lived there, they shut down Mississippi River bridges because there was an ice storm that was starting to hit and they couldn't keep the bridges clean enough. And people were driving around barricades trying to actually cross the bridges. State police had to park their vehicles to block cars from attempting to drive across them. Yeah. Of course, mind you, also the wind was blowing about 40 degrees and these people were hitting the guardrails on both sides of the bridge. People in Michigan forget how to drive in the snow every time it snows. Well, yeah. Oh, good. They got fuel. How many more jumps we got for these crazy people? 2. I tell you what, if this person gets demanding that I'm taken to this beacon, I swear I will shove them out the airlock without a spacesuit. Yeah, people are great. They make life easy. Things that, oh yeah, like much like, oh, you'll get along with everybody. Everybody is so nice and sweet and loving and yeah, right. Game freed except for one problem. You forget that, you know, eventually summer's going to come around and they're going to forget how to drive in it. And see, that was always my key thing is that it snowed so little down there that we always forgot. And that was the truth. We did. It was just a normal thing. Everybody always did forget how to drive in it. But then again, when you're talking about you mother, but in Louisiana, you know, when it snowed, you had snowflakes like this. And when they hit the middle of your windshield, you couldn't see anything, especially if the wipers had just reset. Then you got to wait for them to come back across again. But yeah, yeah. It's snowing all week and there's still idiots going in the ditch. As long as those idiots are going in the ditch and not hitting your vehicles, you're doing good. That's always my key thing. When they go sliding across the interstate, they, you know, go into the ditch, hit the trees, hit a guardrail. As long as it wasn't my vehicle and they're all okay, I'm good. But I will at least make sure that they're okay before I call them stupid idiots. It's all right. That's just part of being a truck driver. When you get in an accident 20 miles from nowhere, it's going to take a while for an ambulance to get there. You want to make sure everybody's okay. So, are you excited for the new Elite Dangerous that you can explore plants on foot? Yes, yes, I am. Yes, I am. I cannot wait for that. It's coming in April, and oh, yes, I want it. I don't think it's going to be one of those things that's going to be all hype either. I think this is going to be good. I don't think they'd release it until they had it down perfect. True. I just find it funny. I'm the person I seen this morning. I'm sure the person I seen this morning in the ditch is okay as the cops were there. Yeah. Taking y'all to the beacon that you wanted to go to. So be quiet. No, we're not changing destination. No, we're not. Oh, why is my nose itching so bad this morning? Oh, how nice. They finally uploaded everything to me. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, my God. I swear the air's dry in my house and my nose is just. Okay. No, that's bad, but if not, I'm going to sit here and keep rubbing my nose. Sorry about that. I was raised to stop and check on people unless emergency services are there. Yeah. Check, make sure they're okay. I was a truck driver. I always carried a massive first aid kit with me just in case. Sorry, when you're 20, 30 miles away from the nearest location and, you know, state police are coming, ambulances are coming. It's going to take them a few minutes to get there. And you still have stupid people who drive 90, 100 miles an hour on the interstate who don't have their seatbelts on. Okay, what are we going to impact with? We're not going to impact with it. Everyone asked why I stopped. I might get jumped. I said I'm a big dude that dumps think they just try to jump or rob me. It's kind of like I was raised. If you see somebody broke down on the side of the road, you're supposed to stop and offer assistance. If you're a woman, I'll stop. I'll be careful. I'll stop. If you're an older person, I'll stop. If you're a young guy, I'm may not. What? Oh, that didn't say anything about planetary. But okay. What are you idiots coming here for? Okay, and they want to go. There are many treasures in the system for visitors to appreciate. One of them is a gas giant with an impressive ring system. Now we're going back to where we came from. Okay, that's the reason why I should never have started this, because I swear, I will blast these people out the airlock. I'm not a people person. I'm not. Are you kidding me? Besides, I carry protection anymore. I'm not a trusting person. I was raised to trust people until they screwed you over. Yeah, not anymore. All it takes is one time of you being robbed. That's all it takes. This is not the same direction we were going. We came from. We are going to come here. We're going to go get fuel. We're going to take this person back home. Yes. Yes. I don't need to carry protection. I've taken steps toward people and they've taken off running. Well, yeah, as big as you are, man. As big as you are. But yeah, I've stopped to help somebody before, and when he pulls out a gun and you don't have one, so I don't do that anymore. That's the reason why I'm cautious. Like I say, elderly people, I'll stop and help them all the time. I remember I stopped and helped one little lady change her flat tire one day. She said her husband was coming. I figured her husband was about her age, so I just she went ahead and changed her tire, and she tried to offer me $20. It's like I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't. Figured that was my good deed for the day. Imagine if they saw me stepping out 6'6", 20 stones, and can take care of myself. Yeah. Oh yeah. Had a buddy back in high school get threatened by 4 college guys. Spun around on the heel of my boots, walking toward them. They ran into the. I mean, you can't be trusted anymore nowadays at all. Period. At anything or anyone. People are only out to get ahead at somebody else's expense, such as the scam emails of click this link from something that looks like your bank, but if you look at the link real carefully before you open it, down at the very bottom, it gives you the URL address it sends it to. You realize it's not your bank. Amazon isn't contacting you about a lost package. FedEx isn't needing to confirm your delivery address. Not like that. And my wife did that. She goes, I clicked this link for an Amazon package you were expecting. It's like, I'm not expecting an Amazon package. So then we had to do a virus scan and wipe of her computer because it got infected with 3 or 4 viruses. Apparently, she'd opened up a few other things too I wasn't aware of. She's a good woman, but she's a little too trusting. Just a little bit. My SIG P320X hairs in my hip. Yeah, Grizz. Uh-huh. My Sigma, my Smith & Wesson Sigma. 40 cal. Yep. It's always on mine. It's always on mine. 6'6", 327, enough power mount. Push full size truck by yourself and know how to knock a gun. Yeah. Well, that and the fact of close quarters combat, hand to hand, they made sure in the prison system we knew how to disarm a prisoner and how to stun them. We know where all the nerve bundles are. We know where the pressure points are. We know how to strike and where to strike. Yes. They wanted to make sure that we could defend ourselves at all time. Okay. We're fully fueled, so we don't have to worry about suns, at least not yet. But yeah, they wanted to make sure of it. And I do remember that training, and I've had to use it before too. Don't like to, but I will. Had a state trooper teach me how to knock a weapon out of someone's hands when I was 14. Self-defense, maybe I should take a class. Most of our defensive strikes that we were taught in the prison system were taught to stun an enemy. Hit the nerve bundles, it stuns them for a few seconds, enough for you to take a different action. Attempt to take control of the situation. We were also taught a few moves that could be considered a killing strike if necessary. Dilly, thank you for the host this morning, sir. Hope you're doing well. Welcome in. We have definitely got to get a bigger fuel scoop for this thing. Oh, I know what you were getting at. I know what you were getting at. I knew. No, I didn't react, but I knew. Believe me, I know of all people you know how to defend yourself in hand-to-hand combat. Mm-hmm. Good try, though. Good try. Yep. I have plans to hopefully go and get my concealed pew-pew license. Hopefully this year. I think it's just going to be a requirement now, just for protection, either for yourself while you're on the road or at home, because you never know when you're going to need it. Now, these people are I said, these people are all out to make a quick buck at somebody else's expense. The thing is, a lot of times they won't hesitate to kill you. We had a place in Baton Rouge called Mall City. It used to be by a old shopping mall that is shut down. They had a country western bar there called the Texas Club. As far as I know, it's still there, and it's still open. They had people getting robbed for a nickel and were getting shot and knifed out in the parking lot. Yep. Well, gotta cook some breakfast pizza, get my long day started, brother. Hope you and your community family have a great. Thanks, Chris. You take it easy, sir. You have yourself a great day, and thank you for stopping in, brother. I appreciate it. Love you, man, and I'll be stopping in to visit you later on today as you start streaming. The current issues is what bothers me. I'm hoping I'm still able to. See, we got ours. I got mine a couple years ago. Wife was actually starting to get afraid, and she doesn't really like firearms, but she knows how to use them. I made sure of that. But she's got hers too. She was getting afraid of going to Topeka, Ottawa, Emporia, even the smaller towns by herself. I mean, that's what makes it so bad. The small towns. So I made sure she had hers, and then I went and got mine. One of the things that gets me is most of the time these stores that want you to disarm before you come in, I don't go in. The only one I will actually do that to is a Walmart for the simple fact there's enough stuff in there I can use for effective weaponry if required. I treat it just like I did when I was an armored car guard. I will not disarm to come inside your store. Because everybody knew what I had in my bag. Everybody knew what I was taking out of those stores in my bag. I was not coming in unarmed. Had to wait a while due to some trouble I got into when I was a kid. And, as a kid, we all do stupid things. I mean, it's a given. We all do. I mean, I was not a sweet and innocent child by any means. As my mother used to put it, I was nothing more than a demon spawn. She said as a kid, there were several times she had to check my top of my head just to see if I had the number 666 up there somewhere. I always used to look at her and say, that is not funny. She used to tell me some of the things I used to do. Then I understood why she wanted to check. Like giving the babysitter chocolate X-Lax in her hot chocolate. I didn't want a babysitter. What more could I say? Man, it has got to be the cold that's doing this. Why is my nose itching so badly? Let's see, I know, what is it? I think scratching the palm of your hand means money coming your way. Something like that. I don't know. I believe it. Really, Impreed? Really? Been listening to Jimmy far too much. Far, far too much. He's going to get you in all kinds of trouble. Yes, he will. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Itchy nose. Itchy nose means you're going to kiss a fool. I must be going to kiss a whole gaggle of them because believe me, my nose this morning is just itching like mad and it won't quit. Hey, Amethyst Neon, how are you doing today? Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great weekend. In fact, I hope everybody had a great weekend. If you were able to, with the cold, snow, freezing rain, all that nasty weather going around everywhere. I know ours was kept inside. We stayed home. We were trying to stay warm. Our Valentine's supper last night consisted of pizza because neither one of us wanted to cook. It was too cold. And without hot water, we didn't want to create a bunch of dishes that would end up sitting in the sink or us having to boil water to a pot to have to try to clean. Besides, neither one of us are really much into the Valentine thing. She knows I love her. I know she loves me. Hey, that's all we need. But I did get her a card and some chocolate before it all started. Of course, I wasn't expecting her to sit there and eat the whole box of it last night, but she did. You'll pay for that today, though. Probably so will I. Last time she did that, she sat there and she cried, waiting for the weight gain to really start. Trying to tell her, she looks fine. She looks fine. In 2 weeks, she will have forgotten all about it. All right, let me throw this guy off the ship. I have. Yeah, I'm taking his money. Yeah, what am I going to do with that? All right, folks, give me just one fast moment here. One fast moment. Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to turn the camera off for just a moment and Okay, I apologize about that. Now we got that all taken care of. Maybe that will resolve our issues real quick. Same here. Bought Blazing some slippers and a game shoe. Bought me no bake peanut butter cookie. Ooh, ooh. See, my wife could have got me a jar of peanut butter and I'd have been happy. Hey, I'll admit to it. Just give me, just a jar of peanut butter. That's all I need. As long as it's not crunchy. I like creamy. And don't say anything, Imfried, because yes, I said I like the creamy peanut butter. Okay, I have got to get better. Yeah, we even bought a cake that we were going to fix last night, and we didn't do it because we didn't want to create more problems with dishes. The lack of hot water is starting to be problematic, and it's only been a single day. 4B is the best we got. Okay. A bigger fuel tank. No. Okay, let's see. How about a bigger fuel scoop? No. An extra 4 tons of fuel. I get rid of 2 economy class cabins. Did I buy it or did I not? I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. Okay. Extra couple tons of fuel. That's wrong. Let's take a look at, here we go. Okay, let's see what we got. 16 economy, 18 economy, 3 business, and 3 first class. Okay. Let's make sure to fuel that sucker back up so we can have fuel in our new tank. Now let's see who we can get. My wife will eat peanut butter with a spoon all day. Peanut butter is always half gone when I go to make myself sandwiches for work. You know what's bad? That's what I do. I don't make sandwiches with it. I just sit there with a spoon and go to town till I've had enough of it. That's what I ate when I was in college. Yeah. I was a starving college student, even though I still lived at home. I wanted to be like I was on my own, so my meals consisted of ramen noodles and peanut butter. And I lived like that for a couple months. So, I mean, it's, yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. All right, we're taking on one group at a time because I don't want these people changing their minds about where they want to go and being all unhappy and all this stuff. And, once again, me threatening to put them out of an airlock. But I really hate spacing my passengers. I really do. I don't get paid for that. I don't. But you aggravate the captain, eventually something has to happen. That's the reason why I can never be on Star Trek. Because if I get to rank a captain and you tick me off, I'm not going to reduce your rank. I'm not going to put you in a report. I'm going to put you in the brig. I'm going to put you out in airlock. Yeah, I sit there all day and I can do that. I go to snack, I want something to snack on. I don't go grab a cookie or something like that. I just grab a spoon and the jar of peanut butter, you know, have a couple heaps of it, and I'm good to go. And it was aggravating my wife so bad I was eating out of the jar of peanut butter that she had to go buy a separate jar just for herself. But she likes crunchy anyway, so I didn't see anything wrong with it. She liked crunchy. She wasn't touching the creamy, so I ate it. I wasn't going to let it go bad. That's the only reason why you don't jettison your pastures. You don't get paid. Otherwise, you'd have fun doing it. Yeah, I would. You know, science experiment. You know, they turn into funny looking statues with, you know, the freezing temperatures of deep space. You know, do it, put a little tracking sensor on it, see how long it takes before they fall into the gravity well of a planet. Okay, I'm not a nice person. What could I say? But yeah, my wife was never touching the creamy peanut butter ever. So I don't know what she was complaining about because I was eating out of it. So we get cheap stuff for the dogs and we get the good stuff for us. We have one dog. She takes a little tiny pill. She's a Great Pyrenees mix. And she tries to chew the pill and it's so small it just falls out between her teeth. So we have to put it in peanut butter. We got another one who takes medicine every now and then. She won't take it unless she gets a gizzard beforehand. So we have to give her chicken gizzards. Yeah, so we buy chicken gizzards and peanut butter for the dogs. And another one of our good friends, PB Mac, we watched one day while he was showing on a YouTube video how his dog reacts with Captain Crunch peanut butter, you know, the breakfast cereal. So we got some to see with our dogs after we checked the ingredients to make sure it was okay for them. We always be sure to watch for that artificial sweetener xylitol, which is harmful for dogs. Kidney and liver damage, I think it does, and it doesn't take very much of it. So we checked it and it was good. We brought it home. We weren't sure if our picky eaters were going to enjoy it. Man, they all love it. You know, we just put a little pile on the floor and they all scatter them everywhere. They're just trying to grab as many of them as they can. It's fun watching them scramble all over the kitchen floor to eat their little cereal. It's not that bad. A couple bucks for a box lasts for a couple weeks. Buy a bag of treats from them, we pay $15 and it lasts for maybe 8 to 10 days. We don't give it to them very often. But that's what happens when you have 12 dogs. I guess Penny got tired of watching TV and she finally put her head down and went to sleep. Yeah, I get up every morning to stream. I turn the TV on just for sound for them. I don't really pay attention to it. Most mornings she lays there on my side of the bed and she just goes to sleep. Well, this morning she was laying there. She was watching 3.5 Men. 2.5 Men. Sorry. Yeah, her little head was up. She likes Star Trek though. She likes watching Star Trek. She likes watching Picard. Xylitol causes hypoglycemia, low blood sugar, seizures, liver failure, and even death. Yep. I couldn't remember if it was liver or kidney, but yes. That's the reason why we're careful to check the peanut butter we give them and the Captain Crunch and any people food. And they don't get very much of that, so. But yes, we make sure to check religiously for that. Every time we buy a new jar of peanut butter, because we always get the same brand, we're still checking to make sure it's never changed. especially with how small most of my dogs are. Yes, yes. And like I said, it doesn't take much for it to happen either. It doesn't take much. But I'm careful. Like, chocolate is bad for dogs. But the thing is, though, is that you can give them tiny amounts. And the two oldest are the only ones that get a tiny little taste. And I mean tiny. It's not enough to hurt them. And they rarely get it. Hell, even our vet said it wasn't that bad as what little bit of pieces we were giving them. And they're going on October, they'll be 14 years. Wow. In October, two of my dogs are going to be 14. Crap. I didn't realize they were that old. Yeah. Really, the only thing our dog gets is mostly vegetables. Yeah, they love vegetables. But I tell you, they love macaroni and cheese. My wife cannot make macaroni and cheese. She cannot. She doesn't understand that you put the salt in the boiling water to help, you know. She boils the macaroni without putting salt in it. Cheese, ketchup, doesn't matter what you mix into it, it doesn't help cover that up. She did that one time with hamburgers. No salt, no pepper. Ugh. My dog got into a bag of white chocolate. Ooh. Well, white chocolate isn't really chocolate. It's more corn syrup and sugar. I mean, if anything, that'll probably just give them a big high and rush. And last thing I need is little Ginger, my hyper little rat terrier that looks like a chihuahua, to get sugar. She did one day. She did. No, but it made him pretty sick for a day. Yeah, I can see that. His body wasn't used to it. We had some friends over one time outside, and Ginger knocked over a can of Coke, and we didn't realize it. And she was just sitting there. She was drinking the whole can of Coke. This little girl's hyper enough as it is. They gave her sugar. It didn't make her sick. She's normally wound up like a top. It's like she got supercharged with a car battery that day. She just would not calm down all day and all night. Yeah. Heard white chocolate. Um, it, oh, dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is very harmful for them. It's very harmful. Milk chocolate isn't as bad, provided you give it in tiny, tiny amounts, very small amounts. And you can't give it to them very often. But milk chocolate is also bad for them. That's the reason why we only give it to our ones who are the oldest. But yeah, it's still bad for them. That's the reason why we give them very tiny amounts. Now, because I do most of the baking in the house, I fix chocolate chip cookies. Well, I fix them some cookies without chips in it. There's nothing else in the ingredients that I put in that'll hurt them. I make them their own little peanut butter cookies. No sugar on top. What else? Oh, angel food cake. I fix some angel food cake and little cupcakes. You know, give them little bites of it. Not harmful. There's nothing in it. You know, I'll make a cake You know, I'll make them some cupcakes, make us a cake. I'll ice ours, give them no icing. There's nothing in it that'll hurt them. There's a chemical in the chocolate as well as the caffeine. Yeah. That's the reason why I give them very tiny amounts. I mean, it is so small that if they don't hurry up and take it, it melts to my finger. That's how small it is. I don't give them much. I mean, they're 14. I mean, going on 14. It's, you know, Scooter's not exactly in the best of health, and Sadie is unique. The colorations of her face, she doesn't show her age like Scooter does. Scooter's got the gray kind of like star pattern in the top of his head just from gray hair. His face has gotten white. Sadie's face has always been white. She does not show her age at all. She does not have any gray in her face on the top of her head. The only thing about her is her body is just a little bit slimmer than she normally was. She really does not look her age. But our dogs are happy, they're healthy. Anytime something goes wrong, if we can't handle it, our vet knows that we're calling. And if we're calling, we're concerned. Our vet's 60 miles away. We don't want to introduce stress to the dog by having to rush him up to the vet or nothing. And we tell them what's going on, and if we have to bring them in, we bring them in. If they say what to give them and watch them, and we do it. We watch them like a hawk, and they're our kids. We got to take good care of them. They eat well. Sometimes I swear they eat better than I do. You know, and unconditional love. Believe me, we got it. Because Max, the last one I rescued that was dumped up over by the high school, he is attached to me, not my wife. He'll go with her, but he is mine. He follows me around the house, everywhere. And if I go to the bathroom, he's outside the door whining because he wants to come in there with me, because I'm outside of his sight. Yeah, I go somewhere, he just about has a fit because he can't go with me. Yeah. I know ours does eat better than. Oh, and when you're sick, oh, Scooter, the oldest boy, and Max, the youngest, they are right there by my side. They've got their heads on me. They've got their paws on me. If they're asleep, they're touching me. They want to know if I get up, and they follow me around the house to make sure I'm okay until I get back in that bed where they can jump back up there and lay down right beside me again. Yep. The others are like, me, unless it's supper time. Yeah. But I think Max is afraid that the toilet monster is going to get me when I have to go to the bathroom. Because he sits right there and he watches me. It's like, I don't need your company in the bathroom, but that's what he chooses to do. We had a Max once, best dog ever. We think he's actually attached to me because I'm the one that picked him up from the lady who found him. She found him and took him home just to keep him out of the roadway. And her dogs didn't like him. And that day she had to find somebody else to take him. And we went and got him. Even though we had 11, we went and got him to find his owners. And they never came. They never responded to our ads or anything. And, you know, with our other rat terriers, he just fit right in. And they took to him right off the bat. Well, okay, the first 5 minutes they wanted to eat him, but after that they realized he wasn't that bad. He wasn't going anywhere. And one of our other boys, you know, it's bad when you have to nickname dogs when you're trying to find homes for them and you can't find them and you forget to change the names. Yeah, we have a boy named Diamond. He has a black diamond in his forehead. He's just got this wide white strip on the middle of his forehead and had a little black diamond. And as he's gotten older, it's kind of blurred, but yeah, So that's what we were calling him when he was a puppy until we could find a home for him. And then we couldn't find homes for him. We forgot to change his name and it stuck. So now we just call him Dai. Everybody goes, "You got a boy dog named Diamond?" Don't ask. Imfried, somehow I knew that was you. Son of a... Imfried, thank you for the 150 bits and thank you for the heart attack and almost making me pee myself. God. Damn it. What am I going to do with you? You know there's going to be payback for that one. God. Imfried, thank you for the 150 bits. It's greatly appreciated. Making me pee all over myself and give me a heart attack. That part wasn't. I will be talking with your wife later. Damn it. That dog never made a sound, even when the doorbell rang until my daughter was born. Then he would let us know whenever somebody was even outside. Oh, mine always hated the doorbell. My old dog, Roscoe, he passed away in 2007. When we lived in Baton Rouge, we lived on a major highway. He wouldn't bark at the police officers. He wouldn't bark at the cop cars. He would bark at the people that they pulled over. The officers could walk up to him and pet him, and he was fine with it. But any other stranger, he almost took their hand off. We think he confused their uniform, their blue uniform with the gold piping down the leg, with my prison uniform that was black with red piping down the leg. We think that was the problem. But he loved them. He loved them. He never barked at the cops. When we came up here, when we moved up here to be with, at the time she was my fiance, one of her kids was up here with a young child, and he had never been around babies before. The baby was at the front door, and Roscoe went up to him. He was a lab Dalmatian mix. He turned the baby around and started headbutting him on the butt to make him get away from the door. Anytime a baby would cry on TV or in a commercial, he'd run through the house looking for the baby to make sure nobody was hurting it. He had never been around kids, yet he took to it. All right, let's see. Okay, we'll take you back to your little destination. Your destination is our destination. Oops, wrong one. Single jump on back. Taking these people back to where we came from. Oh, yeah. When I was growing up, we had a black lab that hated beards. She would growl at anybody with one. He never did. He never did. He was solid black except for a little brown smear across the top of his nose, and he had white that ran from his chest to his lower lip with his little black spots. He had one white sock with a couple little black spots, and his other three paws, alternating toes, were white. He loved to play in water, but he hated getting a bath. He could play in the water all day while it was raining, but when it came bath time, he absolutely hated it. My grandmother taught him to count to 3. His treats had to be in threes. You gave him the first one, he put it down. You gave him the second one, he put it down. If you didn't give him the third one, he'd look down at the other two to make sure he didn't miscount, look back at you because he'd wait for the third one. Just love to swim. If you promised him something like a McDonald's hamburger, you better bring it home. Because when you came home from work, he was looking at your hands. He was looking for that bag. The last bite of your lunch from work had to be saved for him because to him that was something special because it came from you. Yep. I always had to save my last bite of sandwich, last little taste of soup, last whatever for him because he was waiting for it. And there was one day I had promised him I was going to bring him a McDonald's cheeseburger. I got sick at work. I came home. I came home without the bag. Oh, he was barking and raising all kinds of hell outside. You know, my mom lived across from me. She came up across to see what was going on, why he was barking so much. And I had to tell her that, hang on, Imfried. Okay, it was only 1 second. Sorry, man. Don't know what you tried to put, but be careful. My bot is just like Jimmy's. Even if we give permission, it doesn't go through. It'll still time you out. So I apologize about that. But yeah, my mom was asking why my dog was going crazy, and I had to tell her, you know, I promised him a cheeseburger. I got sick. So I had to give her money to go across the street to go to McDonald's to go buy him a cheeseburger to make him shut up. He wanted his cheeseburger. He had to have his cheeseburger. And as soon as he got it, he was quiet. He liked Taco Bell. I don't know why, but he liked Taco Bell. And I don't know where he got that from. You gave him a soft taco, you open it up. He would eat the lettuce and the cheese first. Then he'd eat the meat. And he'd wait for you to pick up and hold the shell so he could take small bites off of it. He would chew it up and eat it. DM'd it to me. God, I'm almost afraid to look. I am almost afraid to look. Because you're getting as bad as I am, Imfried. Really? Really? You even had to name it that. Even got him to piddle himself. It's going to come back to get you, Imfried. It really is. Especially that one. It's a good thing I had that stint put in November. Man, I'd be on the floor right now after you did that. I'm going to nap. Thanks for the chat. Have a great day. All right, Amethyst, you do the same, sir. Thank you for stopping in. Hope you have a great day. Get yourself some good rest, sir. Hempfried giving me a heart attack, man. That is not good. That is not good. No, 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 no. 6 people for economy. And I really 99,000 light seconds. Almost 1,000,000 credits. Oop, that wasn't what I wanted to do. That wasn't what I wanted to do. Okay. Stick them in their cabin, and we're going to lock the doors. Yes. This is a no frills airline. Can't let you walk around now. It's not safe out there. It's not safe in our ship. Absolutely not. Not sure I can do this in one jump. I guess we'll find out. Infried, I really can't believe you did that, man. Dude, I swear you're trying to kill me. I mean, I haven't done you anything to deserve that. Now, if you were, say, Jimmy, DC, Phantom, okay, I can go for even Bodie. I can understand it, but man, I haven't done you anything yet. Until now. Yeah. Yeah. Payback will be mine. Revenge will be mine. I will get you back. I will. I have to. I have to for that one. Good. I'm not giving this person a chance to change their mind about where they want to go. When I started doing this last night, I took a group of pastors who changed their mind twice about where they wanted to go. Didn't respond well to danger, it said. No, but they wanted to go into war zones. Like, really? No, I don't think so. Of course, one of them happened to be the very first passenger after I bought the Dolphin. Bring it, old man. Hey, look, I've already told you, I haven't lived this long being a nice guy. You know that little old man who yells, for the kids to get off his lawn? Yeah, that's me. Yeah. My neighbor who walked his dog and let it crap in my yard, yeah, he got it back right on his front doorstep. So, challenging me, that may not be a wise thing. A wise thing. But you never know. You never truly know. Plus, you never know. Your wife may sell you out. I may show up on your doorstep one day. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I'll mail you some special chocolate chip cookies made just for you. I have a question. Do you have a meeting with Jimmy before the stream? Most of the time we end up getting together and talking a little bit beforehand. Why? What's up? You need something? Yeah, we always get together and talk most time about, I don't know, maybe 30, 45 minutes before he goes live, depending upon what he's got going on that morning. I may have sent it to him. You sent him that clip? Oh, you jerk. Man, that's wrong. That is just wrong. That is just wrong. Another good friend of the stream, DC Sparks, came back home to see his folks this weekend. He's in a little small town, maybe 30 minutes away from me. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to meet up with him because he was supposed to call me. He didn't. But man, after the hot water and the way the temperatures were around here and the continued snow, I'm sure I could have met him anyway. But I know when I go back up to Washington State sometime this summer, we're all going to get together. We're just going to get together. We're going to have some fun. Passengers are being quiet. I wonder why. They staging a mutiny? They're being quiet and keeping to themselves. But I appreciate everybody stopping in this morning. I hope everybody did have a great weekend. If you were able to get out, have one. Not to mention a great Valentine's Day. He probably heard you threaten to jettison them into deep space. I don't think I threatened this group. Or did I? They're probably in the lounge watching Castaway. Maybe Lost in Space. Hey, welcome to Astro Space Lines. We are a no-frills spaceline agency. That's right. That's right. Our cabins are simple. They're basic. We even have a lounge with a VHS player just for you. That's right. No falls out of your cabin while we're in motion. It's all okay. You don't have to worry about it. You'll just be sucked out into deep space. We don't offer flight insurance because we can't guarantee you'll arrive at your destination at all. In the event of an explosion, well, I guess we'll all know about it about the same time, won't we? you're hungry, our lovely cafeteria offers an appetizing gruel made just for you, made fresh daily. We won't mention that it was frozen 6 months ago, but it was heated today, so it's still fresh. Alcoholic beverages are available in the bar. They're a bit watered down, but it's okay. You won't notice. Not at all. This is a no smoking cruise ship. Violators of that rule will be locked in the cargo bay. That's okay. I brought my own. When you depart our cruise lines, please make sure you take all your personal items with you. Because we don't pay our crew, anything that gets left behind will belong to them. That's right. The finders keepers rule applies here. Anyone traveling with children, I'm only going to tell you one time. Do not make me park this spaceship and come to the back. You're not going to like it. Because if I have to pull this vehicle over, you will all regret it. I'm sorry, I'm not like my mom used to do of taking off her flip flop and reaching in the back seat to whack me with it. Yeah, we took a family vacation one time, and one of my one of my friends was invited to come along. Yeah, my dad, I don't know how many times was, don't make me pull this car over, and my mom did that. She took off her flip flop to whack us a couple times with it because we were unruly and misbehaving miscreants. Yes, those were the terms that she used. We were laughing and having fun. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching our destination. If you would, please raise your tray tables and seat backs to their full upright position. Belt in. Thank you for flying Astro Space Lines. Have a nice day. Request stocking. Getting a little reckless there, aren't we? Thought it was going to ram us up into the side. Surprised they didn't make any kind of demands to go someplace else. Uh, 12 refugees. Hostile ships may be sent against you. Not surprising. Okay, we'll go ahead and take them. And we have to risk blowing up at least once. At least once. This way Imfree can have his laughs, get another explosion clip so we can add it to the best of video. At least this time I wouldn't be dying alone. I'll take the refugees with me. Not that I would do it intentionally. All right, this is the first time, actually no, this will be the second time we've taken this thing in for a planetary landing. The first time actually was a visitor beacon. I guess that was more of an asteroid than a planet, though. I had issues with auto launch and auto docking yesterday. It kept putting me in a queue the first time. I let it run out, figured it'd get sent out at some point, and almost got blown up. Yeah. My auto launch got me hung up on some kind of gantry. And I had to fight to get it off of it. I also had auto docking decide to slam me into the station the other night. But then again, I also had I was laughing too much at the camping guy last night and flew into the side of a station. I forgot what I was doing. I was maneuvering. I decided I was going to try to manually dock, and instead I flew into the side of the station because I was laughing at him too much. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. Having the heater on so much in the house is dried my throat out some. I have to pull out the humidifier this afternoon. After that, you tell me waiting in queue, I just took off. Oh. Mm. The furnace we had in the house when we first bought it, it didn't do anything like this, drying out everything. This one though that we replaced 3 years ago, it's really bad about it. We haven't had to pull the humidifier out yet, but we're definitely gonna have to do it today. Wife isn't gonna be happy about that because she doesn't like the thing. So, what all did everybody get to do this Thanksgiving this weekend? I don't know why I've got Thanksgiving on my mind. My wife was yesterday. Oh, good God, I can't even talk this morning. My wife was walking around the house yesterday singing Christmas carols because it was so cold outside and snowing. Told her she was a little bit late for that. She wanted to go put Christmas lights outside because she likes the way they look with the snow on them. Told her I wasn't doing that. I didn't do much. Ran some errands. One of our lights outside with the motion sensors went out last night. She was looking at me, telling me to go fix it. It was 9 o'clock. It was 4 below 0 outside. It was still snowing and the wind was whipping, and she was telling me to go fix it. No, absolutely not. Not at night. Not at 4 below at 9 o'clock at night. No. So I'm going to have to take a look at it sometime today when it warms up to 3. So I know I'm not doing it tomorrow. Tomorrow's high is supposed to be 2. She was asking me about the hot water when I thought we would be expecting it. And I looked at the forecast and said, well, we're not supposed to go above freezing until next Monday. She must have your life insurance policy paid up. That or she's planning on offing me. Locking me outside in sub-zero weather. Yes. I thought about that too. Man, we took the dogs out yesterday and they were running around playing it. We had to go chase them in the house. We had to pick Max up at one point because his paws got so cold he couldn't walk anymore and couldn't make it inside. The others were all running around the yard, so I'm picking him up and carrying him and trying to get the others in the house. And it seemed like no matter how many bundles of clothing I put on, it still wasn't enough. The wind just kind of made it feel like I was wearing nothing. Make sure your house ski with. Yeah. Oh, believe me, I do that anyway. She has locked me out in the rain before. We had an argument and she locked me out in the rain while I stepped outside for a minute. Yeah. You know, I almost developed pneumonia from that one. She felt bad. I laid on the guilt trip. You should feel bad. You're the one who locked me out in it. It was a cold rain, too. I got all the dogs inside, or I thought I did. I turned around and looked, and there's Penny, the Great Pyrenees mix. She's slaying outside in the snow. I walked right past her, never even saw her. She's got a solid white coat except for black on her face, and she had her face kind of hidden under the snow, so I didn't see her. Tell my wife we gotta be careful about that one. Cold doesn't seem to affect her though. Her coat is so thick. Doesn't phase her at all. She's laying out the snow. She's rolling around in it. She's playing. She's soaked. Don't phase her at all. She was trying to hide so you'd leave her outside. I think she really was. She likes playing outside. She likes staying outside. She lays on the deck in the sun. She lays on the deck in the shade. She likes playing in the rain. Snow feels good to her because of her thick coat. But yeah, she was out in it. I would have walked right past her. I never even saw her. You know, we came in the house, we started counting the dogs, we realized that she was missing, ran out in the backyard. Nope, there she was. She was just running around outside in it, playing at that point. Not a care in the world. Her favorite place she likes to lay down on the deck, she tries to eat the snow off of it so that she can lay down in her spot. She just don't like the snow right in her spot. It could be anywhere else and she don't mind laying in it, but that is her spot. She's got her spot. She has her stick that she likes to play with out in the backyard. And like the other dogs who just go out in the middle of the yard when they got to do their business, she gets right up against the fence. She's been like that since she was a puppy. This way here, nobody else could step in it. It's a good thing, too. When she's gotten bigger, she lays some humongous landmines. You can't miss those. She's the one who farts so bad that my wife blames me for him. She's a good girl, though. She is good. Well, we almost got these refugees where they want to go. Nobody's tried to intercept us yet. So we're just going to come on in and hey, good morning, Blazing Butterfly. How are you doing this morning, ma'am? Hey, Auto Racing, good morning. Blazing Butterfly, give me just one moment. I will give you a shout out. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome in Auto Racing, a good friend of the stream. If you don't know who he is, please click that link over, give him a follow. Leave this notification bell on, and make sure you tell him Astro sent you over. And another friend of the stream, Miss Blazing Butterfly, and Freed's wife. Great content creator, up and coming. Excuse me. Please click that link, go over, give her a follow, leave her notification bell alone. I mean, she is a great up and coming streamer. How are y'all doing this morning? We're doing pretty good. We haven't blown up yet. Surprisingly, not yet. Of course, we are kind of flying past our target, kind of swinging back around some. It's like a small little moon here. Coming out of orbital cruise. Start slowing down a little bit. Roger that. Pad 01. Oh, it's going pretty good, Otto. It's going pretty good. Haven't had any bad disasters yet today, but it's still early. It is still early. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well, sir. Still unsure of planetary landings, but I'm getting a little bit better. All right, we're going to take the refugees and put them out. We're not expecting to find any leftover souvenirs or tips for the crew. Doing good. Did not realize how late I stayed up. Just wait for the kids to wake up before I take a nap. A big guy in Phantom Gaming always do the same thing. They say they know that when it's time to go to bed because they wait for me to go live. That's when they know that it's bedtime. It's like, cool. So I'm an alarm clock. Instead of waking up, I am the one who tells you to go to bed. I liked it better when they controlling faction. Okay. An idea of roughly where these places are would be nice, but it's okay. Stayed up watching Gundam and building a model. Now 7 a.m. You know, if it wasn't games that made me lose track of time and sitting up all night, it was watching TV shows. But yes, I've done that before. Why am I choosing the wrong thing? I've just lost it again. I'm about to choose the low paying ones. We don't need the low paying. We need something decent. Okay. This guy is going to Klaus Hub. Ah, crap. That was bad. Really? I said crap, and you're like, that's already done? Okay, so there. I put his people up in business class. Wait, maybe he is business. Oh, he's a rich tourist. Oh, well. Well, we're still going back to our destination. This one's going to Klaus, so he'll go there first. It apparently crapped all over the dock. Apparently it did. You know, it's bad when I say crap and it goes already done. Really? I need the computer to tell me what I've done. Okay. That was news to me. I didn't know the computer could control that for me. But I guess it could, in a way. I don't really want to know. Believe me, I really don't want to know that one. I'm trying to remember what was the last TV show I ended up binge watching on Amazon. I don't remember. It's been a while. Oh, The Expanse. I think it was in season 3, and I had watched one episode, and before I knew it, I had sat up all night and watched 6 or 7 episodes of it. And yeah. It was a good show. I liked it. I didn't realize I had sat up all night until I saw the sun come up. I heard my wife moving around, looked at the clock. It's like, oops. I never told her about it. I just told her I'd gotten up early and took a nap during the day without her knowing it. Either that or it knew it already captured Depends. Thanks, Emfried. Thank you. Thank you. I don't wear Depends. I wear my Red Dirt Ranch undergarments. That's right. That's right. They turn the color of red dirt when you know they need to be changed. Coming soon to a big box store near you. Yeah. It used to be that when a good game came out in the 90s, I entered what they called the computer time bubble. Time in the bubble went slower than time outside. So while you're sitting there, you look at the clock, you see it's 10 o'clock. It's like, oh, I'll just play for about 20 more minutes before I go to bed. All of a sudden, you look outside the bubble and you realize, wow, the sun's up. And then you look at your clock and you realize it's 8 a.m. You're late getting ready for work. Yeah, you don't want to tell your boss when you get to work, you know, that you've been up all night playing a game, you're yawning, so you just tell him you did not sleep well. Yes, I did that. Same difference, just those ones have one more special feature and have his logo on them. Well, what can I say? He endorsed them himself because he wears them. Many, many times started a game called Nexus TK back in 99. Okay, I never did 48-hour sessions, though. I never did 48-hour sessions. I could sit there and play 12 hours of a game with no problem. Did that many times. Far, far too many times. But I was also at that time period where I could stay out partying with friends all night, come home long enough to grab a quick shower, change of clothes, grab a bite to eat on the way to work, and get there, somehow make it through to lunch just so I could fall asleep under my desk for a few minutes. I have a buddy come over nudging me after lunch was over saying, "Hey man, it's time to wake up." I didn't want to wake up. Uh, okay, well, apparently we're not supposed to grumble. But I did that quite often. We had one guy who did that one time. He came in still drunk from the night before. He wasn't allowed to test drive cars. We had to go test drive all the cars he worked on. And then he got so bad that one of the guys had to stand there and watch over him to make sure he actually put the car back together right. Yep. He ended up getting fired because he ended up taking a car on a test run one day without anybody realizing that he was still kind of drunk and hung over. And the road going to the dealership was real windy. And he fell asleep and kind of drove into a building in a customer's car. Unfortunately, I was right behind him, so I had to stop another customer's car to go check on him and then kind of go back and tell our boss what he did. Thankfully, that building was empty, but it still was not very good for him. Last time I did that, I went 2 days no sleep and fell asleep at work. How about doing that and being so tired that you drove home from work 12 miles and don't remember the drive home? Any part of it. You don't even remember getting into your vehicle to drive home. I've done that. That's the scary part. That was also the last time I ever did it. Somehow I drove 12 miles home in heavy traffic and remembered none of it. Oh my God. Okay, that bad. I have come into work hungover on my own day off, had a coworker lift my truck. So. I have been so tired before that I've gotten up, gotten dressed to go to work, got to the office, and it was a Saturday, and I was off a day. I thought it was Friday. And I was sitting there looking at my watch, go, well, where is everybody? Because I didn't have a key to get in. All of a sudden, the boss pulled up because he had work to do on a Saturday, and he's just looking at me going, here to get some extra time in? I'm like, what do you mean extra time? He goes, it's Saturday. And I was sitting there shocked because I couldn't believe it was Saturday. And the fact is, I got up early, got dressed, and ran up there thinking I was late. I was, at least I thought I was late. But yeah, I went up there on my day off. I got dressed and went up to work, and yeah. I did that when I worked at a grocery store in high school. Was off a day. Had so much to do as far as studies going, and I was working and playing baseball for the school team that I got up there to work one day. I punched in and went to go to work, and I went to go find out what they wanted me to do. And they're like, why are you here? It's like, huh? I'm supposed to be here today. They're like, no, you're off. So I was sitting there looking at him going, they're like, go punch you out, go back home, go back to bed. So they could see I was tired. Never did that. Wake up, got ready to go to work, then realized it was your day off. I've actually done that a couple other days where I did not make it out the door. That was the first time I ever made it not only out the door, but I made it to work. And I couldn't figure out why there was no traffic on the roads on a Friday. There was no rush hour. There was nothing. I mean, most time I got stuck at a traffic light and sat there for 5 minutes while it changed a couple times before I got through. I just breezed right on through it, didn't think anything of it. My boss said something about extra time. It's like, no, I'm going to go back home and go back to bed. He started laughing. He goes, yeah, you look like you need it. I don't know what to say. I mean, hey, it happened. We had fun. I've got up, rushed to get ready for work, got to the shop to realize I was 3 hours early, slept so hard I thought I'd slept in. I've done that before too. I have done that before too. I got to work early, went to sleep out in the truck, and told one of my buddies inside, when it's whatever time it was, come knock on the window to get me up. And he did. I didn't feel like driving back home. I could just go ahead and get a few hours sleep right there. So I did. Like, hey. We had fun. We had a good time. Then again, I had other times where I slept so hard I slept right through my alarm clock, and I've done that streaming before too. I didn't think that one was possible, but yes, I did. Colonia, 21 point light years. Eventually, I am going to have to do that. Timbala, that's where I actually bought this thing from. All right. The Timbala system is where I actually bought this ship from. It was the closest to my location. Yeah, that one is easy for me to do, or just wake up enough to turn the alarm clock. I've done that before while I've been asleep. I've had entire phone conversations before with people while I was asleep and didn't remember anything. And it's bad when they ask you, well, how come you didn't do this like I asked you to? It's like, when did you ask me? And they start telling me, it's like, I don't remember talking to you on the phone. Our dog is wrapped up in a blanket on 2 pillows on the couch. My dogs have completely taken over my bed. I've got 7 dogs up there right now. I've got Max and Hyper Ginger under my desk. Max is actually sleeping with his head on my foot. He's waiting for me to get up to go back to bed so that he could go get in bed with me. Yeah. He's afraid I'm going to get up and he's going to miss it. I tried to get him to stay in bed this morning, but he wouldn't do it. And my cat is on my side of the pillow. See, Max, most of the time when I get up in the mornings, he will stay in bed. And he keeps the cover kind of pulled up with his little front legs sticking out, and his head is sleeping on my pillow. That's most of the time how he normally stays in bed. Just completely taking over my side. Yeah. He grumbles in the morning because I get up to stream, and he doesn't like it because he wants me to stay in bed and stay up against him. And that's the only way he will sleep. He will only sleep under the blanket up against me. And he will not get on that bed unless I'm in it first. Now he'll stay there once he's there sometimes, but Not all the time. Nico was outside and got cold. She needed her blankie when she got back. One of our rat terriers, Shady. He's he's a special boy. He's a special boy. He will always come wrap himself up in a blanket. It doesn't matter if it's 100 degrees outside or if it's 5. He will come in the house, throw the blanket over himself, and curl up in a little ball with just his head sticking out. Now, Josie is one of our oldest little girls. She'll be 12 this year. She's the little mama. And she likes doing kind of like the little, we call her the little, let me get this done. We call her kind of like the little Jewish lady because she wraps up in a little blanket and it's all wrapped all up around her head, and she's got just her little face sticking out, and she's looking around like that, and she looks like she's got her little shawl on, and that's the way she likes to curl up in the blankets. And we got to watch Josie because Josie's got some deformed front paws, and she was like that at birth, and we didn't realize. The vet said that she was fine. And with her going on 12 now, the vet said that the only way to fix it is with surgery. But because of her age, there's the risk of the anesthesia. There's the risk of it not working and her being more crippled or worse. That it wouldn't take, and they'd end up having to remove her front legs. And it's like, nah. She's happy. She's healthy. She can move around. We're not doing anything like that. No. But she's cute. She thinks she's the queen of the house. She likes being waited on hand and foot. That includes when the wife goes upstairs to sleep. She expects me to carry her upstairs. It's like, no, I don't think so. Okay, that's a reputation change. I thought that we had another group of pastors and was changing their destination. She's a special little lady. Yeah, she's a special little lady. Yep. She was antisocial for a couple years. She just wanted to stay upstairs in the bedroom. We had to go upstairs to feed her. Now she's starting to realize that she wants the attention, so she's coming down all the time. She's starting to enjoy it too. Okay, Gregory Vision. Take 6 for them. Got more for Gregory Vision. How many people were these? Oh, only 2? Oh. Oh, first class passengers. Oh, I see how that goes. Okay. Our little girl's a social gal. She loves attention, food, and toys, especially. They don't really play with toys. They never have. They like rawhide. Penny plays with rope toys that have been around for years that none of the other kids play with. But then when she starts playing with it, Tip decides he wants it. Then the other boys want it. And she has to get in a fight to play with the toys that they haven't touched for a while. She wins. She's bigger. She's a lot stronger too. She's about 45 pounds to their 20 and 25. So she can yank them around the house. They let her do whatever she wants. Squeaky toys, they don't play with them. I take it back. Shady plays with them to eat the squeaker out, and then the rest of the toy disappears, and we find it later after he's passed it. Yeah, he eats it. We've had to take him to the vet so many times to go get x-rays to see if he's got a blockage because of parts of toys came up missing. You know, it's bad when you give him something that looks like Santa Claus, Santa's head and hat is gone. And yep, there it is on the x-ray. Just wait a couple of days and yeah, it's hard trying to convince him not to eat things that isn't food. Of course, his grandpa Scooter ate drywall. That dog ate drywall. My cat has a little ball toy she carries around there. Happiest cat in the room. Princess Poppy. We had a little girl named Sassy. And she had Addison's disease, and we lost her about 4 years ago to kidney problems. Oh, this little girl, she was our heart because we had to watch her like a hawk. We had to look for any kind of medical problems because if she showed any, we had to get her to the vet right away. And oh, she was spoiled. She knew it. She could get away with murder in the house because we had to always give in to her. She had to eat. She always had to take her medicine. So we had to give in to her, nobody else. Oh, that little girl, we named her that before we knew what kind of attitude she had. She fit her name. She always had to get the last word in on everything. You fussed at her, she had to get the last bark in. Most of the time, it was always at me. Yeah. Nico will wake everyone up in the house with her toys. That's Penny with her squeak ball. She got one of the big Kong balls. She likes running around at 3 o'clock in the morning, squeaking it from room to room. Yeah. Every time she gets a new one, we have to take it away, about 11 o'clock at night so we can all get some sleep. We give it back to her the next day. We used to put it on the kitchen counter until we found out that she could reach up there and get it herself. Yeah. Couldn't figure out why the ball was disappearing. Then we realized that she could actually jump up on the counter if she wanted to. She doesn't. She was just jumping up there just enough to get her toy and we'll go run off. It also explains why some of the food came up missing. Then that stopped, so she outgrew that part. Thank God. Sorry. Same with my cat with all her toys. I have bells in them. Sassy needed something to keep her attention. So we come across this little dog that was being abused by her former owner, Penny. So I took her. This little dog was just being beaten by her former owner, so we took her. Brought her home. Sassy immediately took to her because Penny was maybe 3 months old. Sassy was 4, 5 years old. 4 years old at the time. Raised her. Raised her as a puppy. We didn't have to correct her about anything. Sassy was right there. She'd get in her face and she'd start barking at her. She'd let her know. If Penny didn't pay attention, Sassy would take her paw and hit her on top of the head to let her know, she was in charge. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. She did an amazing job raising that little puppy. We didn't even have to house train her. Sassy did it too. Sassy taught her how to do it. Loud squeaky toys at 4 a.m. don't make anyone happy, that's for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, Penny, that's not a sight I need to see. she's doing her playgirl pose over here on the floor. She's got her head down. She's got her paws covering her nose. Then she's twisting her body with her back, one of her back legs kicked up in the air, exposing her goods to me. Really? Her and Max play doctor all the time. I'm glad they're all fixed, but yeah. It's amazing. Penny can't clean herself up. Max does it. Max doesn't clean himself up because one of the other dogs does it. I'm just. I've got perverted dogs. I've got perverted dogs. We bought Kong High Style toys last year for our Pit Bull Basset Hound and Nico, our Husky Lab mix. They would go to town making them squeak tune. Kong is the only toys that we found that will stand up to Penny. We get her rope toys and they last a while until eventually she just chews them apart. Now, Twofer used to play with rope toys and he used to be bad. Oh! Nobody said that was a planetary landing. I saw the planet. It was like, ooh. My passengers are not going to be happy at all. Okay, we got to go back up into orbit. Ooh, ooh, oh, oh, oh. They have perverted owner. Thanks, Siegfried. Thank you. Thank you. Really? I did not see the icon that was a planetary landing, and I am glad it stopped before we slammed into the planet. Ay. It makes it look like it's a station. It is a station. It's on the other side of the. Okay. Oh, wonderful. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, this one was a bad one. It was perfectly centered on the backside of the planet. And when I saw the obscured, we were already going right into the heart of it. Wow. Okay. That woke me up. That's same with our pit bull. It lasted longer than she. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Sassy. Because Sassy was taking corticosteroids every day for her Addison's disease. Um, we would had been giving her hard frisbees because that's the only toy she liked playing with. And we realized it was chipping away her teeth, so we had to go for Kong hard rubber ones, well, soft rubber ones that were durable and they lasted for a while. And she was able to chew on them and whip them around with no problem. They didn't damage her teeth that bad or anymore. And then the other dogs started all playing with them, and we had to make sure to get one special for her. They finally got to where they left hers alone because they knew that, if she didn't mess with their toy, they couldn't mess with hers. Heck, even Penny wouldn't touch with Sassy's frisbee because that was hers. But no other toy could stand up to Penny. And the boys, they would shred everything. They've stopped playing with toys now, and except for the rope toys that we give Penny or her balls. But she still has her Nylabone chewables we got her when she was younger, and she still plays with them. She may not touch it for 6 months, and all of a sudden you look at her for 2 weeks straight. She's playing with it, chewing on it, having fun, kicking her paws up, throwing it around. But none of them play with frisbees anymore after Sassy passed. Then we had another one of our dogs, Bo. He went blind from SARS, which was sudden acute retinal detachment syndrome. And he would wander around out in the backyard. He had one special frisbee that was also his that nobody else touched. And we throw it in the yard. He'd go find it. And he'd stand over it and bark to let us know he found it. He was so proud of being able to find it on his own. We'd always take him out the front yard and walk around, and he'd follow right behind us because he wanted his sense of freedom. And we always gave it to him. We'd take him out the front yard. He'd go by himself. He'd just follow me walking around, and he was happy and content. Oh, where does this person want to go now? But yeah, if you ever took that frisbee and you put it in front of Bo, he wouldn't take it. He'd stand on it. He would stand on it and stand there and just bark at you because he knew that you did it. Then he'd pick it up, he'd throw it himself, and then he'd go run off to go find wherever it landed. Okay, well, where is she? Um, all right, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy your cabins. Sit back, relax, and have a nice, relaxing voyage. Yeah, we still got all the frisbees in the other room. we've got Sassies that we won't let anybody else touch, and occasionally we pull out one of the others to throw around for them to play with. They won't do it though. They won't. Even Penny won't touch them. But you throw her ball, she'll knock everybody out of the way to get her ball. She don't care who. My wife threw the ball one day. I caught it. Penny jumped up and knocked me over to get her ball back. I tell my wife, don't ever do that again. Never. That girl may be 45 pounds. She may stand up to my knees. But when she jumps up and hits you, it's like a ton of bricks. It's kind of like my neighbor's dog. I'd always go over and take care of him when they went out of town for some reason. I don't know what breed he was, but he could stand up and put his paws up on my shoulder. Man, when he came running up and he hit me, he would knock me back 5 feet. He never took me down, but he can make me back up several feet. If I was sitting down and he decided he wanted to wrestle me and just jumped up on me, he would knock me over. I couldn't stop him. He was huge. He was a monster. I swear sometimes he weighed as much as I did. Man, he did that one day. He jumped up. He hit me in the shoulders. Man, I had bruises for a week. She says, that's mine, don't touch it. Exactly. Exactly. That was her toy, and she knew it. She was waiting for me to throw it for her, and I guess I didn't throw it fast enough. She jumped up to take it from me. I have a few things he said I put up, will let Nico have. Mom told me to just throw it away. Yeah, I know. Our dogs are our kids too. You know, it's too hard sometimes. When Sassy had an episode with her Addisons and she had to go to the vet, most times she had to stay there for about a week because they had to fight hard to get her blood chemistry just balanced back out perfectly. We had a special teddy bear that was just for her. And when we had to take her, we would take it and I'd rub it all over myself, and my wife would turn it to the other side and she'd rub it on herself. And we would never let Sassy see it because if she saw it, she knew she was going to have to stay. They'd always let us take her in the back, put her in her little kennel. We'd put her little teddy bear just so she could smell us. And even though she was 60 miles away, at least one of us went up there every day to visit her, see how she was doing. We didn't want her to feel like we had left her. When she'd come home, she'd be thin, she'd be skin and bones because she wouldn't eat during that time she was having the episode, and we'd have to get her to start eating again. And believe me, there were times when we got her to start eating, we almost couldn't get her to stop. There was one day she ate 3 cans of pedigree all by herself. I mean, she was one right after the other. There was another time where she wanted nothing but gizzards, so she ate gizzards. She ate about 2.5 pounds of gizzards. One day she wanted nothing but Caesar cookies, so she ate a bag of them. But because she had to take medicine and all, we had to give in to her. So whatever she wanted, she got. And she took advantage of it. She knew it. Is he tall and narrow like Marmaduke? Our neighbor's dog, he looked more like Marmaduke. He wasn't a Great Dane, though. He wasn't. His paws were that big. You know, while they were at work, the weather got bad, I'd go over there and check on him. Bad thunderstorms were coming in, I'd take him a rawhide bone, or I'd go get him a beef bone from the meat market here, had a little bit of meat on it. I'd go give him that. You know, they could always tell when I was over there because he always had a new bone. bad thunderstorms were coming in, snowstorms, ice storm, I'd go over there, check on him, make sure he had warm. He was warm. He had water. He was dry. He had food. They knew I was. They knew I was going over there all the time. Well, the other neighbors who watched their house always reported me going over there to check on him. Yeah. So little Sassy one day, she got out. She decided to go run across their yard because she saw this big dog who was barking at her. And she stopped halfway across the yard, turned around, tucked tail, and came running back to our yard. She didn't realize exactly how big he really was. He was about 5 times her size and about 10 times her weight. Oh boy. Sorry about that. I heard something. But he was a good boy. And every time he got off his chain, he'd come over here to our house. He'd just walk right across the alley to our house. And we'd take him and we'd put him in our backyard till I could walk over there, see what part of his chain broke. I'd go to the hardware store, get the parts, fix it, take him back home. They always paid us. When he'd get loose and animal control would pick him up, she wouldn't go take him to doggy jail. She'd bring him right up over here to my house because she knew we'd take care of him. Yeah. It was always good. They knew we'd take care of him. He knew we'd take care of him. Oh yeah, my wife was afraid of him because he was so big. Yeah. If he got loose and we couldn't find him, and he'd take off running, we knew he had a girlfriend 2 blocks away, so we knew where her house was. So we'd go up over there, go get him. Yeah, but sometimes he just wanted to stop and water everybody's bushes. You get within a couple feet of him, he'd break and run. Then he got to where he knew my method of attack, that if he was pulling his chain, he knew I would dive for it. So he'd wait for me to start to dive, and then he'd take off running to where I'd miss the chain. He's a smart dog. He's a very smart dog. Too smart for his own good sometimes. Oh yeah, he was. They told me one time they moved a couple years ago. They're still here in town. They're a couple blocks away. He still gets loose and still comes over here to visit. He still comes over here. And sure enough, I step outside and I give him a little pepperoni stick because that's what he's come to visit for. And I hurry up and grab his collar, grab his chain, and get him in our backyard. Call him up on the phone, tell him I got him. That is the only dog I was allowed to pet that my other dogs didn't take offense about. The only one. Any other time I'd pet any other strange dogs, they'd all sit here and stare at me like give me the third degree. He was the only one who was different because they could look out the front windows, look across, and see him and see me. They didn't care about him. They liked him. They didn't like his smell in their backyard, but they liked him. Excuse me. Yeah, he was big. He was big. The thing is, though, when he was growing up, his paws were big, but his paws weren't that big. As he kept getting older and getting more and more bigger, his paws kept getting bigger. The only collar that they had that would hold him was a double nylon collar that was designed for pit bulls and mastiffs. More for mastiffs than pit bulls. But it was thick. It was about an inch and a half wide. And it had a solid D ring on it. so it couldn't come apart. The metal buckle, it was one piece because he would pull these things apart. He would break C clamps. He broke the chain. They had a thick toe chain. He broke it. Started looking at the links and realized how misshapen they were. That yeah, it was bad. It was huge. I'm not I really don't remember what breed he was. I'd have to call him to find out, even if they remember. I mean, he was a huge boy. When he would stand up, he would come up to my waist. He would. Yeah, he was definitely a monster. He was definitely a monster. And anybody who walked up to their house, if they were unprepared, he'd scare the crap out of them. Because I can't tell you the number of times I've seen kids and the mailman and delivery guys and repairmen run from their back door when he just barked. Because he would run as far as his chain would take him. They never had to worry about anybody getting in their garage because, I mean, he was. And all he was just a big baby. To him, it was a new friend coming to play with him. That was the key thing about him. Just somebody new coming over to pet him, love on him, somebody he could play with. Yep. You grew up with Great Danes? I never had a Great Dane. Never had any friends who had them. Our friends all had German Shepherds. You know, before I got Sadie and Scooter, I wasn't too fond of little dogs either. You know, to me, a rat terrier was just a little dog, little yappy thing. I fell in love with them. Now I'm kind of look at them all differently. Yeah, buddy of mine had a German Shepherd. That dog was the only dog I ever found that did not like me, and I don't know why. I had a thick jacket on one day. He tried to take a chunk out of my arm. My jacket was about the only thing that stopped him. Man, he clamped down on my arm. He was trying to get him off. And it was just the pressure alone was. I mean, man, you better hurry up and get your dog off me. It's like, why? It's like, because I think your dog is about to break my damn arm. He goes, is it bad? It's like, yeah, you need to hurry up. He finally got his dog off, got my jacket off, pulled up my sweatshirt, and I had pressure bruises all across my arm. Didn't fault him, didn't fault the dog. Went up to new strange dogs like always, you know, hand flat up against the fence for them to smell. He was licking the palm of my hand. It's a sign of friendship. So he hopped up on the fence. I was a little bit, you know, gently of reaching over and gently patting on top of the head like always. And all of a sudden I stopped petting him and then he just decided to take a chunk out. And I guess it's because I stopped petting him. He didn't like that. Well, all right, we're checking destinations here real quick. Oh, we are. Hostile ships may be sent against me. Oh, that's only 72,000 credits. This will be our last flight to the morning. HIP 101597. We will get these things going. Get these people to their destination. Make them all nice and happy. And remember, thank you for trying Uber. Uber. We had one named Apollo. He treated the meter maid one day and sent everyone running. Roscoe, my lab Dalmatian mix, when we lived in Baton Rouge, his pen was a small pen. It had a roof on it to keep him in. There was one little section, though, that we had left open, and because my grandmother stayed with me and I took care of her. Are you sure it's a safe flight? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We are a no frills space line. Oh. Okay, so it's not going to let us make that jump. What we're going to do is we're going to have a secondary point somewhere. But he had a spot open to where if she needed him, all she had to do is scream his name. He could jump up, climb the fence, and run up a ramp to go into the mobile home to protect her if she got scared. That's right, not with Astro flying. And they decided that because we had free water in the trailer park, that people were taking advantage of it by washing their cars and having friends over to do car washes and things like that. So we had to start paying for our own water. So they were installing meters. Well, the guy who was head of the crew that was installing meters kept telling one of his guys, don't be sticking your crap. Don't be sticking his hand up against or into my dog's pen. My dog didn't like him. He was okay with the other people, but for some reason, this guy, even when he put his hand flat up against Roscoe's pen, Roscoe wanted to rip his arm off. So he's like, this dog likes me. They all like me. Okay, we got to wait for cool down to continue. So he decided to stick his hand almost in Roscoe's dog pen through the opening. I was home. About the same time I hollered no was about the same time that Roscoe jumped up, showed him he could jump out of his pen if he wanted to, and then started showing teeth to him. So this guy's standing here cussing my dog. The leader of the crew is up there going, I told you not to do it. And I'm up there telling him, I heard your boss tell you not to do that. I even told you not to do that. Yeah. Hey, Riven, how you doing this morning? Are 2 hydrates? Really? 3? All right now. All right now. All right, look, now y'all are trying to. Oh, I see how it goes. And for you're just copying him now. How you doing, Riven? Welcome in. Hillbilly 359, good morning. Welcome in. I can't believe y'all are doing that. Can't torture you with bits, so I got to do it with hydrate. Man, y'all gonna make me take that down. You and Imfried. Imfried did not do that. Now you've just given him an idea. Thanks, Riven. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome in Hillbilly 359, a good friend of the stream. If you don't know who he is, just click that link over, give him a follow. Leave us notification bell on. Tell him Astro sent you over. It's a good thing this thing's almost empty now. Oh. Excuse me. Oh. Oh, that was bad. Excuse me about that. And that's a clip. I don't think so. So that's going to be a new thing, huh? If you can't torture me with bits, you got to start torturing me with hydrate. All right. I'm going to keep that in mind. At least I don't have one to make me go stand outside in the snow with my bare feet. It's too cold. Yeah, hillbilly, I know. You don't want to know how many more times I could do that? Yeah, it's a good thing Jimmy doesn't have that either. It's a very good thing. I have over 300,000 channel points in his stream, and I would use them too. Ooh. Okay, we're all good and done now. Killing me with water. I see how it goes. I see how it is. Now, the question's going to be, how many times am I going to have to go to the bathroom today after that? 19 degrees now and 5 inches on the ground. It's still snowing. Let's see about. No. No, I don't have anything else to drink here. Y'all done finished that off. And probably me too. Yeah, Billy, that's not bad. I got 4 inches outside. When I woke up this morning, it was 7 below with a wind chill of 20 something below. Tomorrow morning, it's supposed to be 17 below with a wind chill somewhere around 42 below. So let's not start talking about how cold it is or that, because 19 isn't bad. 19 was our high 3 days ago. 27,300 points. You know, one thing I was thinking about doing until you just told me that was the bomb banana sauce. Yes, I have it too. But I'm not going to do it Jimmy's way. I'm going to figure something else to do with it first. Something that won't involve killing me. Because I know with that many points, that's exactly what y'all would do. Especially now after Riven has showed you to torture me with Dragons! Bitch. Emfrey, thank you for the 50 bits, sir. Thank you for startling me, and thank you for not doing that while I was trying to guzzle all that water. Because believe me, water would have flown all over the place. Now, my main gaming monitor right here, oh, believe me, a couple days ago, yeah, it's got sprayed twice in one day. My Stream Deck right below it, it got dripped on twice in one day. As long as it's not the keyboard, we're doing good. No to the keyboard, no to the mixer over there. Okay. No to the mic. We're doing good. And especially not that cam. Not that cam. That's one of the Logitech Stream cams. That, water gets in that thing, you'll see me cry. Yeah. Well, good to know for next time. Man, y'all are just trying to kill me. Y'all are just trying to kill me. Man, now my nose is back itching. I can't wait for Lucy now. I told you I would never hit you when you were drinking. I'll leave that to Jimmy. Thankfully, he doesn't really do that. And I don't do the jump scares to him while he was doing it. I don't do that to him while he's drinking. I do it to him while he's drinking, and I don't know about it. Because every time it happens, it's off cam. Now, when he's drinking, it's because I say something that catches him off guard when he spits water all over the place. Or Monster Energy drink, or whatever else he's drinking at the time. I can be a sadistic bastard at times. Yeah, Riven. Well, guess what? So can I. Okay, so think about that. I can too. I really can. I can be quite vindictive. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have for this morning. Thank you for the laughs, the bits, the scares, the making me choke on water. Oh, thank you for everything, and I hope y'all had a great time. I know I did today. Let me go find somebody. Let's go find somebody this morning. Somebody we can go share the love with. Let's see. Let's go visit somebody new today. Oh, let us see. Let us see. I prefer somebody with a cam, but I think this is going to be the perfect person right here. Oh, but I wish to thank everybody for everything. I will be back at 5 a.m. in the morning, Central Time. Provided, I got to make sure to say this today, provided my internet can hold up to what we're supposed to be getting. They did repairs. I'm hoping it does. So just kind of giving a little warning beforehand. Be watching Twitter just in case something does happen. But I do plan on being back at 5 a.m. in the morning. Until that time, thank you for everything. Take care. Be safe. Have yourselves a great day. And try to bundle up warm. Have a great day.